on tonight?
Guess who's going to jail? Guess who's going to jail? They think he's got a bomb in his bag.
How do the American people know that 9/11 wasn't staged, wasn't engineered by you, David Rockefeller, the Trilateral Commission, the CFR, and Bilderberg Group, sir? Answer my question.
Please sit down and shut up.
How do you sleep at night?
We love this country. We should treat our police officers, our fire department, our first responders with respect, sir. They're getting no respect from you for what you're doing to them, sir.
That's my roommate. That's his medication.
Can this side of the room, everybody stand up? Everybody on this side, if you're all rescue workers, will be dead in 4 years.
Are you there? Are you there? Are you there?
We're here defending America.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
Right. You ain't an American. Come on.
When are you going to investigate World Trade Center 7, sir? When are you going to investigate World Trade Center 7? You made your promise. You made a promise, sir.
All hell is breaking loose on 6th Avenue. If violence breaks out, don't worry, we can handle it.
If you know that there's treason going on, you can be held accountable for treason yourself.
Hey, guys.
It's true.
An inside job? How dare you? How dare you?
Attention Walmart shoppers, 9/11 was an inside job.
Why did Bush not even want to investigate the attack?
9/11 was an inside job. 9/11 was an inside job. 9/11 was an inside job.
Turn the camera off.
No, sir.
Turn the camera off.
No, sir.
Did I ask you why you're taking my picture?
I have every right to. You're on the public sidewalk.
I worked Ground Zero. A week after, I was asked to come to Ground Zero by the union to help do the rigging on the Millennium, Century, One Liberty Plaza, and the Federal Building. We put all the safety netting up to keep the glass, the broken glass, from falling down on the rescue guys and all the people in the streets out here. Whitman, EPA director, on the 18th made a statement that the air was safe to breathe. As the EPA director, she had the power to step in at Ground Zero and make sure every man, woman, helper, people from all over the country that came here had their respirators on. She should have kept these schools, kids in these neighborhoods out of this area to make sure, absolutely, that it was safe to come back. No, they were in a hurry to open Wall Street. They opened Wall Street at the expense of thousands and thousands of men's health. This country has gotten crazy. Everybody's blaming everybody else, but bottom line is, Bush is responsible for this. He is absolutely responsible for this.
You remain, my dear, the love of my life. Quite simply, you were the best husband, an amazing father to our 3 children, and an incredible boss. I will always remember your sense of duty to us and to all of your co-workers and friends, who I always remember when I remember you. Wish you were here. I really miss you.
I don't know. The fact of the matter is that the 9/11 Commission did not ask these questions. Nobody's asked these questions. They're factually present. We need to reopen the investigation to find out. I don't know what hit the figures.
Keep moving for the Lord. Open up the sidewalk. Let's go. Keep moving, keep moving.
Chose this weekend, coming up on the 5th anniversary, mainly because the majority of the victims' families believe 9/11 is an inside job. Bill Doyle, the head of the biggest families group, 7,000 plus members, has gone public saying he now believes it's an inside job. The families have asked us to come out here and expose how their family members were murdered by elements of the U.S. government. And we're not going to stop. The truth's going to come out.
We're always told that a new generation was born. Now we live in a new time now after 9/11. Even the people that are working here, even the police officers that are working here, don't believe the government story 100%. We don't believe the government story because they have habitually lied in the past. They couldn't even be honest about the air that we were breathing down here. So how could they possibly be honest about every single event that works here if they have no caring for the public servants, for the people that have worked here and that helped? We have to continuously ask questions. That's what a patriot does. That's what a true American does. We ask questions. The day that we stop asking questions is the day that we have allowed the seeds of despotism to grow at our own door into a great tree that blinds us from the truth. And we will not allow that to happen today. We will not allow that to happen on the next anniversary of 9/11. And if the government has not told the truth, in 5 years we will be here on the 10th anniversary of 9/11 to continue to ask more questions.
How many people do you think are here today? Do you have a sense of that?
Over 2,000 T-shirts have been given to people in the last 2 days. And then, of course, there's hundreds of other people wearing other 9/11 T-shirts and other groups that are here. So I would imagine throughout the day, there'll probably be around 3,000 9/11 truthers out here.
How many of you guys cleared away the area before they brought that building down over there at 5 o'clock in the afternoon?
Were you fucking here on 9/11? Did you see those planes go into the building, you stinking?
What is wrong with you?
A video where Bush said it.
He said
I would
it
give you
to the
fuck
mountain.
100.
Oh,
I'll give you $500.
You ain't got 5 cents. You don't even know the truth.
My friends died. My family died. My
What do you want to
friends
protest?
died.
What do you want to protest today?
Do your own research, all right? That's it.
I will. They
All I
told
said
the
to you was
American
this.
people
The fact is
the
this.
air
To me,
was
it
safe
sound like
to breathe.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. Really appreciate it. My friends were knowingly lied to on 9/11 about the air quality. Many people who are against the 9/11 truth movement say that we offend the firefighters, offend the first responders, offend the police officers. These people are on our side. They know what's going on.
My name is Lukadowski. I'm a 20-year-old college student, and I live in New York City. I've been living here for about 11 years now. The first person that I knew that was sick was David Miller, and I think I've been knowing him for about 3 years, 3.5 years for now. He came down to our events at this church that we used to hold, and you know, he just came down there with his breathing machine, and the guy was just sick. The guy was losing his teeth. Seeing him, that he's literally coughing up blood, like a whole chunks of blood and just dirt and filth. It's like wow, man. Like, if this could be done to a national hero, a guy who fought in Iraq, it could be done to everybody.
Everybody, please give a huge round of applause for my good friend, David Miller.
My name's David Miller. On September 11th, 2001, along with hundreds of my fellow troops, I went to Ground Zero. No one asked us, no orders were given. We went because our city, our country, our neighbors were under attack. And we knew what to do, or at least we thought we did. On September 13th, we marched back in groups of 2s and 3s at first, and then dozens until there must have been more than 200 of us, carrying ropes, ladders, tools of every kind, back into the smoke and the poison and rubble, where we reached an intersection with hundreds of civilians cheering us on. Our uniforms were torn and soiled. Our resolve was simple: to stay and dig as long as we had any hope to save anybody. I want to tell you about how sick so many of these brave men and women have become. I want to tell you about how the mayor refused to accept the fact that not dozens, not hundreds, but many thousands of us were contaminated, sickened, and poisoned by the most toxic combinations of building materials in the history of disaster relief. And that for 5 terrible years, he ignored that fact. 5 years of our family members watching us drop dead. And every time popular mechanics calls the people of this movement nuts, these propagandists, professional liars and tools who cannot, even by any stretch of the imagination, be considered journalists, strike another nail into the coffin of another rescue worker.
We Are Change was started after the 9/11/06 event here in New York City. When we first started out in New York City, it was a bunch of young kids. Nobody was even over the age of 30. And we were just brainstorming, what can we do to have the most amount of change? I remember just getting a whole bunch of young people, getting their emails around about New York City, and just having meetings. You know, we used to meet at pizzerias. Living in New York City, I've been at Ground Zero hundreds of times, and I remember speaking to many 9/11 victims' family members who lost loved ones on 9/11, and who still to this day have many questions.
My name is Manny Badillo. I'm the nephew of Thomas Joseph Scroy. 70% of family members' questions were never answered during the 9/11 Commission report. What if one of our family members were murdered? Would we be okay with 70% of their questions never being answered during any trial? There still has never been a trial for those who have died. There still has been nobody held accountable.
I challenge you all to learn about the truth of 9/11. It's time to research on your own. Learn your physics. Learn your history.
Free information on 9/11. Information must be withheld from the American public.
Hi, my name is Dan Wallace.
My father was a firefighter for about 23 years of his life. Loved his job, every second of it. Came down here on 9/11, unfortunately, gave his life. We're down here every Saturday at the World Trade Center fire station, you know, trying to get the truth out there. That's what this country's about. Truth. You know, it's America. Freedom of speech.
9/11 was an inside job.
All we're asking for is a new investigation. We're not asking, you know, to believe us. All we're asking for is to look at the evidence.
Structural steel is the largest structural steel ever used.
Come on, guys, that's a great story right there. Film that. Film that.
Okay? I gotta tell you something. This I expect because I've worked in New York for 20 years.
Okay.
This bullshit is standing right behind.
Bullshit?
Yeah, bullshit.
Bullshit.
Standing right behind
your
him.
corporate media is, but this is bullshit.
Life, man.
This is bullshit. This is true. This is America. This is America. This is America. Freedom of speech. If you can go on your news channels and manipulate people's thoughts, we could do it too. How about that?
It's terrific.
Yeah, is it? You like it? Asshole? Yeah, you're very mature. I can see why you're an anchor man.
Family member here, you know that, right?
My father died in these towers.
How dare you?
You just see me getting called an asshole by an NBC anchorman.
See, this is what the media does. They never talk about the family members. They never talk about the rescue workers. The family members, the rescue workers started this 9/11 truth movement. And people have to understand that it's these people who are affected by 9/11 who we are fighting for.
We're about to head over to the stock exchange. Last time we got confronted by cops with M16s, and they actually took the safeties off. You know, M16s with the safeties off is not a joking matter at all. This time we're going to go down there. We're not going to stand for that. We're going to pretty much stand our ground. They can take the safeties off all they want. We got cameras this time.
Can't have that banner up over here.
We understood that we could.
We were out here. We were out here last week.
Okay.
We set up over there, talked to a gentleman just like yourself, and they told us that's blocking pedestrian traffic. We went over here. The police officer gave us no problems.
Okay.
And he said we could stay here.
Unfortunately, that was last week. I don't know who you spoke to. This week, it's me.
Yes.
Banners with these type of things on it. Can't have it.
Those type of things. It's cardboard.
I know.
There has a hole in it, and it's a cardboard. We're not blocking pedestrian traffic.
No, I understand that. I'm saying the thing is these.
Get the camera. Sit up with him. I can record. Yes. It's a private camera. It's a private camera, though. I'm on public sidewalk.
It's nothing private. Just let me see what you took pictures.
Take pictures of what? This is a private.
Well, listen, you want me to take that camera, or you want to show me what you filmed?
We're so good. Cut it away, people.
I'm asking him not to film me.
Pointing down.
I'm going to ask you one more time not to point the camera. I'm only going to ask you one more time.
Okay.
Yo, don't ever, when he tells you don't record me, you have every right to record. Remember that.
Do we or not?
You have every right to record. You're on a public sidewalk. Everything is public property. You give me the camera next time. I will put it. I'm not scared. I will put it right in their face. They tell me to put it down. I'll put it right in their face. There are many incidents, not only at Ground Zero, but other incidents that people try to set us up. People try to get us arrested. People come, scream, spit, try to start fights with us, even though they're not even rational people who are willing to have a conversation with you, who are not even engaged in a conversation with you.
I just wanted to say this guy outside actually just told me stop talking about 5 years ago, and I told him I will never stop talking about 5 years ago. Even if it's 20 years from now, 30 years from now, I'm never going to stop talking about it.
We're not going to stop until the lies uncovered. The footage you just saw was the last time I saw Dan Wallace. Dan Wallace died in his sleep a couple days later, Monday, January 29th. Dan, you were one of the best friends I ever had. I will never forget you as long as I'm alive. One day, brother, we shall meet in the sky. I miss you, man.
I was to be informed by my military assistant. I was to be told of a nuclear attack on the United States roughly within 30 seconds of its initiation, because we have early advanced systems.
My first question, it's a statement and then a question. Earlier on this year, you gave a speech to the Senate Foreign Relations Committee where you alluded to the fact that the Bush administration may stage a terrorist attack to justify a military action against Iran. And then in your book, you also acknowledged the fact that a memo was uncovered where Bush and Blair discussed painting a U-2 spy plane in UN colors so Saddam would shoot it down. Now, although you have argued that deceptions to the American people may be necessary in order to deal with these enemies, how are we to know how many other terrorist incidents have been state-sponsored false flag incidents, including the largest of one, the attacks of 9/11? How do we know, how do the American people know that 9/11 was staged, was engineered by you, David Rockefeller, the Trilateral Commission, the CFR, and Bilderberg Group, sir? How do you know it wasn't staged? Okay. It's a question. Answer my question. You sponsored Al-Qaeda, sir. You are a criminal. You sponsored Al-Qaeda. In 1979, you gave him money. That's true. You're a CFR scum. You are CFR New World Order scum. You and David Rockefeller will never have a New World Order. And I remember just sitting there by myself, feeling extremely nervous on, what to do, because this was my first ever confrontation with a high-level treasonous individual. Answer my question. Please sit down. Shut up. Answer. He said, "Shut up, sit down." So I just sat down and he answered my question, even though it was a horrible answer.
You're not allowed to use a camera.
I'm pressed. As he's answering my question, you have this one pencil neck guy, moderator, coming up to me and saying, you need to get out of here. How dare you film this event? You can't film this event. It's private. I remember just being there by myself. Nobody else could have came. I called all my friends. Nobody really wanted to come out. Nobody really, could come out. And I remember just thinking, this guy's done a lot of wrong. I have to do this. I have to do it for, Dan Wallace especially. And that was very close to Dan Wallace's death. And I remember just thinking, what happens if I die? I won't have the opportunity or chance to do something like this. 9/11 was an inside job, and Brzezinski is responsible for it. 9/11 is an inside job. You are responsible for Brzezinski. You will never get a New World Order. Never. National sovereignty will prevail. The New World Order is going down, sir. You can laugh. Wake up, people. Wake up. Research the New World Order. This is important. Look it up. Investigate it. As I was being dragged out, this one little security lady comes up and she starts screaming, "Take the tape, take the tape." And she hits my camera and she starts to try to rip off the camera from my hand. And I remember the security guards holding me. And I remember I was right by the door. So I decided to lean into the door and I did kind of a spin move. And as I spun, I hit the door wide open. I just started running. I was like, hell no, they're not getting my tape. And I didn't want to look back. I was just terrified, scared, running, because I didn't know what these guys were going to do to me. They ran for about 6 blocks. You just saw Secret Service run after me. They tried to take my tape outside this camcorder. I ran outside the building. Private security guards tried to catch me, but I'm getting something too quick for him, and he couldn't catch me. So I hope you guys enjoy the footage. And yeah, Brzezinski, you got yours. It was a huge victory getting that tape out, getting that information out, getting that reaction out, getting that confrontation out, getting that video out, and it getting hundreds of thousands of hits on YouTube and the whole internet. And it was just a great event knowing that I could affect and tell truth to power. Zbigniew Brzezinski was Jimmy Carter's presidential advisor. He actually set up the Mujahideen, their so-called freedom fighters, 6 weeks before the Russians even invaded them. And that's where Osama bin Laden came from, the Mujahideen, the Taliban. And you could say he basically set up Osama bin Laden.
So the towers would have dominated the skyline right around there, right around where you see that gap in between those buildings, between the new Building 7 and the Millennium Hotel, right? It would have dominated the skyline. You would have seen those two towers twice as tall as any of these buildings that you see down here. It's missing two of the places where the most successful people in our society got together, used to work every day, where my uncle used to work every day. He was early to work every day, this man. I used to see him in those towers. We used to eat together, windows on the world, and he's not with us, and those towers aren't with us, and so many other people aren't with us, and we're still looking for justice for those deaths, for those murders. And to be here right now, to be around people that are also helping to pursue justice is absolutely amazing. It actually allows for me to deal with that loss better, and allows for the family to deal with the loss a lot more, because here we have you know, an organization that's changing the world, and I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful that we're here, and that we will be bringing justice for those that have died.
There's one incident where we were doing a street action outside Building 7 where we had security guards who identified themselves as police officers and then say we had backpack explosives and bombs.
Let me smile for them, so when they get locked up. Enjoy what moments you have left, not handcuffs.
And he said we were going to get arrested, but we won't. I mean, I know my rights.
Oh, right now the Port Authority's on their way.
I know.
And they want me to stall you guys so y'all can stay here and they can come. So I'm letting you know right now, the Port Authority on their way right now.
Remember when they came last time, we said this is New York City, this is Port Authority Street?
See, Larry don't want to hear that.
I know Larry, but who's Larry? Larry's not above the law. We're citizens, we're Americans.
Later, one of the security guards did talk to me, did take me to the side and explain to me what was going on, that it was really Larry Silverstein who tried to set us up.
And you can't record this, you gotta shut that off. You can't be recording this. Shut that off.
It's a public sidewalk, though.
Yeah?
Can I ask you why you're taking my picture?
I have every right to. You're on a public sidewalk. I'm a citizen. Hey, buddy, we were out here before, so I don't mean no disrespect.
Can you take your camera out of my face? Because you're disrespecting me by doing that.
So I'm not doing anything illegal.
No, I'm asking you politely, can you take that camera out of my face?
That's off, right? It's on, right? Come on, you gotta shut that off, man.
We have every right to, though. Huh? We're not doing anything illegal. We have every right to.
Shut that off, though, okay? You gotta shut that off. You can't be recording what we're saying.
When Ricky comes, I think he's got a bomb in his bag.
Exactly.
I saw wires coming out of there. I think he's got a bomb in his bag.
The guy even admitted, you know, I know you're not a terrorist, but I'm going to say you're a terrorist, and you're going to spend 30 days in a hole before they really find out.
Terrorist act? I guess they go away for about 30 days.
We're not terrorists. We're Americans, sir. We're citizens.
Well, you're right. By the time the government figures it out, you'll be in a hole for 30 days.
I mean, just understand.
Just don't record what he's saying. Don't record what I'm saying. Hey, please, do me that favor. And you still recording me. Come on, man.
We have every right to, sir. I'm sorry, but constitutionally, legally, we have every right to.
Guess who's going to jail? Guess who's going to jail?
As long as he's on here, guess who's going to jail? He's got bombs in the back of his backpack,
I think.
How you gonna say that, sir? That's slander.
I saw wires coming out of it. I don't know what you have in there.
You're trying to say
I don't know. You look like a terrorist may look like.
I don't know what a terrorist looks like. Sir, that's very disrespectful.
I don't know what a terrorist looks like. You may be a terrorist for all I know.
How you gonna say that?
We're not doing anything wires coming out of the backpack.
I'm not a terrorist, sir.
You made threats, so now I'm concerned.
Nobody made a threat. Never made a threat, sir. What you're doing right now is slanderous, and it's libel.
Let the judge decide.
You have no right to do that.
These guys were trying to set us up, and the only thing really protecting me from being set up was a video camera. And with that video camera, I was able to show the world what's really going on and how these guys are so criminal that they're willing to frame activists, people who are willing to stand out there and give flyers and DVDs for free to the people about the truth. They're willing to set us up as terrorists, and they're trying to say we have backpack explosives. That's what the system does. They attack real people who want to affect real change. And for about 30 minutes, these guys were talking about what to do. When we asked them if we could leave, they said, no, we can't leave. I always had my camera on, and I remember just 5 Port Authority Police Department officers came and walked around me, and I had my video camera shooting.
Private property right here? This is this, yes, and that's right here. Correct. This whole park, this whole triangle.
As I'm talking to this cop about this being a public street, this being a New York City street, one of the police officers who was behind me actually took his hand and just grabbed my camera without even saying anything, grabbed my camera, turned it off, and then he told me, this is a gun. And then these cops then threatened me and said, you know, you have to get out of here, you can't stand here. And they basically forced us to leave. And then without having the advantage of having any communications, any cameras, we decided the best thing to do was to leave before they really set us up with a bomb threat. Right after, they tried to set us up as terrorists. And right after this Brzezinski confrontation, I actually started getting phone calls and death threats from random people, from uncalled, from private numbers, as well as my loved ones started getting death threats. You're gonna, you know, threaten us because of Brzezinski and what we did outside Building 7? Well, you know what? I'm gonna go outside David Rockefeller's house and confront David Rockefeller. You know what? I'm gonna go to Giuliani and confront him on his lies of 9/11. You know what? I'm gonna confront every political candidate there is, because they're not gonna silence me and they're not gonna stop me. In 2007, We Are Change has confronted Giuliani a total of 11 times. We confronted him in Brooklyn, where he had to close off an entire city block because there were so many family members, so many rescue workers there protesting against him. He had to have a total of 200 police officers there, barricading the family members away from his fundraiser. The first confrontation that happened was actually on Rudolph Giuliani's birthday. And Sabrina Rivera, me, as well as Matt Lepasic were able to confront him during his first fundraiser in the Bronx. And Sabrina Rivera asked him, how come you knew the towers were going to collapse and you didn't tell anybody? And how do you sleep at night?
Hi, I'm a 9/11 victim's family member. I met you in October 2001. Sabrina?
Sabrina?
You came for Lieutenant Robert F. Wallace.
Of course.
I have a question for you. You reported to Peter Jennings that on 9/11 that the World Trade, the towers were going to collapse. And, excuse me, no steel structure in history has ever collapsed due to a fire. How come the people in the buildings weren't notified? And who else knew about this? And how do you sleep at night?
Ma'am, I didn't know that the towers were going to collapse.
He reported it to Peter Jennings.
No.
To Peter Jennings.
And also,
you indeed said that the towers, you were notified the towers were going to collapse while you were in some, not sure exactly where you were prior to, but you said on ABC video with Peter Jennings in an interview that you were aware that the towers were going to collapse in advance. We'd like to know who told you the towers were going to collapse in advance, sir? And also we'd like to know who else you told.
Well, the fact is that I didn't realize the towers would collapse. I never realized that.
You stated it.
If I can complete the sentence, give me the courtesy to complete the sentence.
Yes, sir.
Our understanding was that over a long period of time, the way other buildings collapsed, the towers could collapse, meaning over a 7, 8, 9, 10-hour period. No one that I knew of had any idea that they would implode.
You stated they would collapse.
Thank you.
You stated they would collapse.
So I went down to the scene and we set up headquarters at 75 Barclay Street, which was right there with the police commissioner, the fire commissioner, the head of emergency management. And we were operating out of there when we were told that the World Trade Center was going to collapse.
Now, if he knew the towers were going to collapse, how come he didn't tell the people in that building? How come he didn't tell the firefighters, the police officers?
Sabrina Rivera, who says she lost a family member on 9/11, grabbed Rudy's hand and wouldn't let go as she and others confronted America's mayor in the Bronx.
She doesn't have to give you information. She doesn't have to give you no information.
Giuliani!
Giuliani, you made $11 million off of the deaths on 9/11. Why did you lie to me on May 29th?
Guys, watch your back. My uncle on 9/11, Thomas Troy. Mayor, I wanted to ask you about the 500.
Thank you very much.
My knowledge about the towers collapsing.
Excuse me, George, could I excuse me? John Schroeder just recently testified that he heard explosives going off throughout the building.
There's no way.
Mr. Giuliani, you're a traitor to this country. You will be going down very soon, sir.
Politicians, media whores, the establishment, the people who are lying, the people who are screwing us over are being confronted, and this is only going to grow.
Nice to meet you. I have one question for you, though.
Go ahead.
You said that you were speaking.
I'm not going to be able to give a long question.
Yeah, no, one question. Senator, thousands of first responders are dying, Senator. They need money, Senator. They need important funds, Senator. Senator, over 20,000 first responders are dying. They desperately need federal income, Senator. Senator, please support a new investigation, Senator.
You support a new 9/11 investigation, John?
Oh, can you take a picture? Sure.
Is that video? Here.
Okay, you ready?
It's all right, Joe.
What does it say? 9/11 was an inside job. 1, 2.
So I want to know if you support a new investigation into 9/11. I do not. I do not.
And I know a lot of family members that questions were never answered by the commission report, and they demand a new investigation.
Any questions that they have, send to me and I'll try and get an answer.
Hamilton and Thomas Keane said they were set up to fail. It's public record they did. We need a new investigation, sir. Stop your fear-mongering, John McCain. We know the truth. We know you are covering the death of 3,000 innocent Americans that deserve truth and justice. John McCain, you will be tried for treason for your cover-up of the events of 9/11.
If you know that there's treason going on, you can be held accountable for treason yourself.
Hey guys,
it's true.
If you want to meet with me,
I want to meet with you.
You're not going to meet.
We got to talk now too. Like I said, we got 30,000 plus first responders dying. They don't have time to wait anymore.
Yeah, we have about 14, 15 groups, and it's building. It's always building.
Former President Clinton raised money for his wife Hillary's campaign tonight at the State Theater in Minneapolis. When hecklers interrupted, shouting that the September 11th terror attacks were a fraud, President Clinton confronted them.
An inside job? How dare you? How dare you?
The hecklers were removed from the crowd. Tickets to the State Theater went for
The Bohemian Club? As you say, the Bohemian Club? That's where all those rich Republicans go up and stand naked against redwood trees, right? I've never been to the Bohemian Club, but you ought to go. It'd be good for you. Get some fresh air.
The latest happened in Minneapolis, where President Clinton was speaking at a fundraiser for his wife. From the audience, a 9/11 conspiracy nut interrupted him.
You guys aren't going to be able to get away with your New World Order, sir. Talk about Bill. You know what New World Order is.
Look at Connie Rice a couple of weeks ago. Bill Clinton, too, yeah. and John Kerry. They're going after everybody. And here's the thing. I mean, where do they get off doing this, and why do they think they're going to continue to be politely escorted out? At one point, with security so high and tensions on edge, don't you think they're going to get, at the very least, tased or beaten to a pulp?
Senator Clinton, on the cover of Set. How can we trust you as president when you're at the Bilderberg Group? Because that's high treason.
Hey, do we have some fucking security in this building? Or do I have to come over and pick this guy down out of here? Did you get the fuck out of my building?
But yesterday, it was a screaming audience member who got Bill's attention. President Clinton was campaigning for his wife in Corpus Christi, Texas yesterday when an idiot started waving a sign that claimed 9/11 was an inside job. After the
What's
speech,
Rosie O'Donnell doing in Corpus Christi?
the man led away in handcuffs and hopefully taken one of those secret prisons in Eastern Europe, never to be heard from.
Oh, I hope that happens.
Right here. Mr. President, how can we didn't extradite bin Laden when the Sudanese government? How did you know the ISI was helping the Taliban, sir? How did you know they're helping them out? It is classified? In the days following 9/11, you met with the head of Pakistani ISI, General Muhammad Ahmed. It has since come to light that he ordered Saeed Sheikh to wire $100,000 to Muhammad Atta. Why was he allowed to go back to Pakistan, and why wasn't he questioned, and why were you meeting with him?
There's a thing called diplomatic passports. We did not arrest Khrushchev when he came.
But he financed the hijackers, and you let him go, and he's free. He hijacked the hijackers.
No one knew he financed the
hijackers. He hijacked. It's wired. It's reported. It's not a ghetto life, sir. No, that was an inside job.
That one's not mine.
Yeah, this is the problem with live television. I guess it gets around that if you're on live, then the nutcase is, yeah, and you are a nutcase, Building 7. Yeah, You know what that's all about? Of all the things I've said, and believe me, I've said a lot of things, as you all know, that could get my head on a block. The one that they protest about out here is the people who think that the World Trade Center was a controlled explosion. You see, in that instance, I'm actually defending President Bush. I don't think President Bush brought down the World Trade Center.
Hillary Clinton, Bill Maher, even Nancy Pelosi have been verbally assaulted and scorned by these cranks.
Ms. Pelosi, do you support a new investigation of 9/11? As do the victims' families? No?
Well, we work closely with the victims' families. They wanted the legislation passed.
The 9/11 Commission report doesn't even mention the collapse of Building 7.
If authorities don't wise up fast, bad things are going to happen. Wait and see.
Bloomberg, why do you want to destroy the First Amendment with the new camera ban, sir? I'm working with the press. I just want to comment. Why would you?
Nice to see you. It's a wonderful day. I hope you
It is a
enjoy
beautiful day. I just want to know, why do you want to destroy the First Amendment?
I'm a capitalist. Why are you shutting down the news competition? I'm a capitalist. Why are you shutting down the news competition?
That's assault.
Why are you shutting down news competition?
I want to ride the subway. I'm sorry. I want to ride the subway. That's assault. You're assaulting.
It's illegal to ride in between the trains.
It's illegal for you to assault me.
It's illegal.
It's illegal for you to assault me, sir. Why are you ignoring the rescue workers, sir? Police officers are dying, and you're not want to give them benefits. You don't want to take care of them, and it's really sad, sir. My friend's a police officer, Craig Bartmer, Police Precinct 1. He's dying because of the EPA's lies, sir, and he's getting no help from the government, no help from the unemployment agency, and he's dying right now because of the lies from the EPA and the government on 9/11. Why hasn't the government helped the ill rescue workers, the first responders who gave their lives on 9/11, sir? We love this country. We should treat our police officers, our fire department, our first responders with respect, sir. They're getting no respect from you for what you're doing to them, sir. Did you lose somebody on 9/11, sir? Because I know a lot of people that did. I know a lot of people that did. And they're so angry at what you did, sir. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. I didn't do nothing illegal.
Ray, what is it that you're trying to accomplish here?
The police officers, first responders are dying, and he's not giving them any help. Bloomberg, please, man. The first responders are dying. They demand justice. I'm doing it for you. My friend's a cop. He's dying, and Bloomberg doesn't want to give him any help. I want to ask some questions. He's not doing any good.
But why don't you make an appointment? Go online.
He doesn't. He doesn't approve it. I did before. He doesn't. He doesn't. And the media won't answer these questions. How come he's not helping the first responders? He's not.
So you're saying it's up to him?
Yes, he has the right. He vetoes bills to help the first responders. He did it on record, man. He doesn't care about the cops. He's a rich guy. And that's what we're trying to show. The media won't ask him those questions, man.
I have to agree with you on that.
Look into 9/11, guys. They're trying to kill all of us. It's not just they're trying to kill all of us, man.
In New York City, wherever you go, it's very hard not to see a roadblock, a checkpoint by the NYPD. They have huge signs. They literally stop off a whole block. They cut off a whole block. There's police all over the block. But whichever car comes, they decide whichever one they're going to stop, they're going to inspect, and they're going to check out. They look in your car illegally. And this is everywhere you go in New York City. Right after the London bombings, New York City implemented bag searches in public city subway stations. So wherever you go on the subway, randomly, there's police officers there who are going to stop you before you come in, and they're going to ask you if they could search you. Roadblocks if you're in a car. If you're in a subway, they have these subway searches. Critical mass is simple movements where they just ride bikes. The police department have deemed them terrorists and are actually arresting people for riding their bikes in the street legally. A police officer just hound them down, throw them down to the floor. They handcuff them. They take away their bikes. They throw them to jail. For what? Riding your bike? Without 9/11, there would be no checkpoints. Without 9/11, we wouldn't be called terrorists. Why would these terrorism apparatuses be used against average citizens, Americans? Without 9/11, this would have never happened. They would have never gotten away with any of this, with any of these police state institutions, without 9/11, without supposedly going after Osama bin Laden, which is still free. This is what the mainstream media is ignoring. They're ignoring the facts. They're ignoring the sources. They're ignoring the people who lived through it. They're ignoring all the people who are questioning the official story with facts, with science, with first-hand personal accounts. And they will keep ignoring it because they won't let this truth come out. Because as soon as this truth comes out, everything they did to justify their actions as of 9/11 is going to be down the hole.
My name is Kevin McPadden. I was a first responder on 9/11, and I'm a prior Air Force medic.
He was there. He was there when Building 7 came down, and he clearly hears a countdown of the building being demolished.
On the first day on 9/11, was staged north of Building 7. Amy Goodman was out in the intersection part.
World Trade Center Building 7, your opinion?
I think it needs to be further investigated.
They had half of us separate into search and rescue and half of us into medical assistance. When we saw the firemen pick up and start grabbing their equipment and bustling back and forth, you know, they were getting ready to do something, we started asking questions. And so we had our eyes on this Red Cross representative that was holding a radio. So, you know, usually the person who's holding the radio has answers. Well, what's going on? What's going on? Well, what are the firemen running around for? And, like, there's something going on. And next thing you know, there's firemen grabbing all their equipment, and there was a whole bustle and shuffle of firemen going on. He goes over, he talks to the fireman, he comes back with his hand covered over the radio, and he's like, you know, just sit tight, calm down, you know, it's all right. He finally has this face that is like he was heartbroken. He's like, just run for your life.
You hear that?
Keep your eye on that building, it'll be coming down soon.
The building is about to blow up. Move it back.
Rescue workers pushed people away from the scene.
We are walking back. There's a building about to blow up.
He takes his hand off, and you hear 3, 2, 1, and it was boom, 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 boom.
I said, you know, we've had such terrible loss of life. Maybe the smartest thing to do is pull it. And they made that decision to pull, and then we watched the building collapse.
Richard Gage is an amazing individual. He started Architects for Engineers for 9/11 Truth.
My name is Richard Gage. I'm an architect, and I've started the Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. I've been an architect for 20 years, and worked in most types of building construction, from residential, commercial, office, retail, you name it. If somebody in our government was responsible for these demolitions, then everybody in America needs to know about it. What we have to get down to is the science. Once you get to the science, it's indisputable. At Building 7, a 47-story skyscraper, not hit by an airplane on 9/11. It fell symmetrically, smoothly, at virtually free fall speed into its own footprint. A perfect controlled demolition. There's only graphic evidence for 2 or 3 fires in that building, 5th and 12th and maybe 13th floor. The official story tells us that the steel was softened, but if that was the case and this building fell due to fires by their nature creep from place to place, leaving one area cool and burning another area, that would force an asymmetrical collapse. The building would tip over. So for the first time in history, fires have done what only a handful of demolition companies are capable of doing.
It was almost as if it were a planned implosion. It just pancaked.
Well, just before 5:30 this afternoon, it too crumbled, pancaking almost like a precision implosion.
The firemen had pulled out all of their resources from the building early in the afternoon, and they're looking at each other wondering why they're not fighting the fire. And there's some people who are telling them the building's going to come down. At World Trade Center 1 and 2, we have the onset of destruction at the point of the jetliner impacts, because we're being led to believe that this was produced by fire. So what we have, instead of a classical controlled demolition of an implosion, we have an explosion, where beams and columns are dismembered from each other. These are welded moment frame connections in the core structure of the World Trade Center 1 and 2.
Two towers, a huge explosion now raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way.
They're blown up to 500 feet laterally, impaling themselves in the surrounding windows.
Go! Go! Nearby hotels were evacuated as it became clear that the North Tower would collapse. And within minutes, there was another huge blast.
Oh my God, there it goes!
Eyewitness accounts of explosions and flashes of light prior to the onset of collapse are key.
We really never even got that close to the building. An explosion blew and it knocked everybody over.
Well, it wasn't too bad until we got down to about the 4th or 5th floor, but it was slow going the whole way, and it was a little smoky, but it wasn't bad. But then when we got down to about 3, we heard like another explosion. I don't know what that was.
The courtyard was all blown up in fire, and we had to go down through the mall.
There was an explosion. We're on the support floor, which is a basement. Guy came in running. All his skin was out of his body. Oh my God. All his skin was out of his body. We took him out. We ran out. We heard a lot of rumbling. I went back in. There was a lot of smoke. We went up like the stairs with the Port Authority police to start rescuing people. A lot of people were coming out. But there was a lot of people that stayed there. We brought a lot of people on wheelchairs and a lot of people on gurneys, all people that couldn't make it.
It was just something like saying this can't be happening. And it was, and I was living it. I was part of it. I was right in the center of it.
John Schroeder is a hero of 9/11. His ladder company was right across the World Trade Center, and he was the first one who reported the plane hitting the buildings. As he was walking towards the Twin Towers, he saw a huge explosion take place, and a lot of dead people on the first floor burnt.
September 11th, went to work about 8 o'clock, rode my bike over the Brooklyn Bridge, looking at the towers. That was always my destination, knowing that that's where I work, and that's, it's a beautiful thing. The Serge standing right there, we're hanging out, my buddy Terry Rivera standing right here. Beautiful day, I'm looking up. All of a sudden, we hear, what the hell? It's been seconds. You've seen the wing of the plane come in, crash through the building, and explode bodies out of the building, all on Liberty Street. I run in screaming, a plane just hit the Trade Center, a plane just hit the Trade Center. I get on the phone to the dispatcher saying, a plane, 1060 the box, plane just hit the Trade Center. Get all emergency vehicles down here immediately. It's on. We ran into Mike Hurley, who's the fire safety director of the towers, and he said, why don't you go hook up around the West Side Highway? So we go around, we hook up the West Side Highway, and now there was a lady on fire right outside the door. My buddy Terry Rivera had a can, he was putting her out. That might have saved his life. I said to Sean Talon and Jeff Olson, I said, I'll see you up top. They're in the truck, I'm in the engine. Never to see them again. We were so dumbfounded because by the time we got around to the corner to the west side, there was 30 floors of fire. So we're standing there in the lobby, we're getting all together. I look down to my right, and the elevators exploded, something out of like a Bruce Willis Die Hard movie. People just come running out of the elevators, on fire, fireballed. We were in there for maybe 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and the elevators exploded on us. Yeah, we said something's wrong, yeah. I mean, the plane hit up on the 80th floor. I mean, in 5 minutes, all of a sudden, now the elevators are exploding on the first level of the lobby. We said, we got to go up, man. Come on, we spent enough time here. You know what? We knew we weren't going to put the fire out. We were saying Hail Marys all the way up the stairs. We knew we were going to die. I knew it. I said, I'm never coming back here today. People coming down the stairs from all different floors, burnt, you know, missing an arm, missing this, missing that, and you know, screaming for help. And we're just saying, listen, you got to go down. You got to go down. So we were heading up to the 24th floor of the stairwell, and all of a sudden we heard, Mayday, Mayday, second plane, second plane. Swift, we're looking at each other like, come on, second plane? There's no way there's a second plane. Within seconds, our building got rocked. We got bounced around in the stairwell like pinballs, man. And we just said, you know what? Time to go. We got out as much people as we could. Most of the people were out. We were the last guys going up the stairs. We got down to the 3rd floor, and that's where the stairwell collapsed on us. And we had to dig our way out. Now the building's coming down. We can't see nothing. Once again, saying our prayers. And with that, all of a sudden, we're looking for another stairwell. Me and the lieutenant open the door. We find a body in this closet. We were like, what the heck is that? Where did this come from? Holy shit, what's going on here? Something's crazy going on. We got our way out of the 3rd store, and that's where the maintenance fella, with a little flashlight, saved our lives. He was pointed over, and if it wasn't for him, we never would have found another stairwell. Willie Rodriguez. Thank you, Willie. He saved our lives. Saved about 12 guys' lives that day. We got down to the lobby, and everything was blown out, exploded. Everything was... We were the only ones in the lobby now. We're going, wait a second here. Where is everybody? All of a sudden, we said, listen, man, no time to cry for your mommy. We got to get out of here. So we took off like cockroaches. 12 of us. We all went our own ways. I ran across North End Avenue and outran the building, throwing my gear off. I was standing on the ledge, watching the building come down. I was diving in the river to Jersey.
This is so terrible.
People who were digging, they were having a hard time breathing.
You know asbestos was in there, is in those buildings, lead is in those buildings. There are the VOCs. However, the concentrations are such that they don't pose a health hazard. We're going to make sure everybody's safe.
And people get sicker every day. People dying of lung cancer and everything else and not being taken care of. I think something should be changed here. Something quick. Because there's going to be a lot more people getting sick.
John Field, he runs the Feel Good Foundation, an organization which has been helping out many first responders and has been doing the job that the government should have been doing from the start.
That's my roomie. That's his medication, 26 pills a day. He's an NYPD. I call him Skittles, as a nickname, you know.
John Field donated his own kidney to another 9/11 first responder who was about to die.
My name's John Field. I'm a 9/11 responder. I was there for 5.5 days, and I spent 11 weeks in the hospital after I was horribly injured, working on the pile of Ground Zero. 8,000 pounds of steel, they roughed it out, estimated at, crushed my left foot. After fighting for my own basic benefits, I saw so many other people suffering, and I decided to help people just like me. Denied, neglected, turned down, shunned, laughed at, made a mockery of. Heroes, brave souls, who risked their lives without prejudice, who gave of themselves for this country in the city of New York. And over the last couple of years, I've been running the Feel Good Foundation. The Feel Good Foundation, we advocate for workman's comp and Social Security and crime victims. We do this on limited resources. None of us here get paid. My board is made mostly of 9/11 responders. And we're trying to show others while we have nothing, we can still help each other. We can create that safety net and that support system for others to follow. There's not a better feeling in the world than helping somebody. I thought giving a kidney was like, wow, winning lotto, but actually helping a 9/11 responder who can't put food on his table, keep a utility on, knowing that we helped them do that, there's not a better feeling. Not a better feeling making the government look bad while they just keep screwing everything up.
Alright, we're here at our local Walmart. I happen to get the page code to get on the intercom here. All you gotta do to get your local Walmart page code is look at your Walmart person when they pick up the phone to enter the code to do something on the intercom. Just pay attention to what they're doing. The code here happens to be pound 9611. Don't tell anybody. Attention Walmart shoppers, 9/11 was an inside job. Google World Trade Center 7 came down in 6.5 seconds. Thank you. Attention Walmart shoppers, Google Operation Northwoods, 1962 plan to carry out terrorism. Thank you.
Can I have an available CSM, please phone 212, and available CSM, please phone 212. Thank you.
Can I get Dick Cheney to the front, please? Dick Cheney, you're wanted for the crimes of 9/11.
It's not just We Are Change. It's not just InfoWars. It's a lot of people who are just standing up for truth and justice.
May I have everybody's attention, please? I've come with a message of information. 9/11 was an inside job. And now it looks like the police are here. I think we have something called the First Amendment. It's called the freedom of speech, apparently, which Newt Gingrich is trying to fight.
To let you know that 9/11 was an inside job. Is anyone aware that our government was complicit in the attacks? Has anyone heard about the 9/11 truth movement?
Everybody knows 9/11 was an inside job.
Over 36% of Americans think our government did the attack. Why didn't President Bush testify under oath?
Well, we were wondering if you guys think 9/11 was an inside job.
Everyone knows it. Did you know that they made millions off of insider trading before the attacks happened?
Oh my God, 9/11 was an inside job. Did you guys realize this? 9/11 is an inside job. Our own government carried out the attacks. This is crazy.
Why did Bush not even want to investigate the attacks? Over 36% of Americans believe 9/11 was an inside job.
Sorry I'm late, Professor. I've done my homework and I figured it out. 911 equals an inside job. How many 9/11 truth people do we have here? Gets their own population, gets their own property.
That's how you do it.
We want to get some ideas, your comments on 9/11 being an inside job, because since your last movie, which gave us a lot of information, Carlisle Group, all the connections, we now are in possession of all kinds of other facts and evidence, and we know that 9/11 is an inside job, so we want to get your comments on that.
Well, I've had a number of firefighters tell me over the years, and since Fahrenheit 9/11, that they heard these explosions, that they believe that there's much more to the story than we've been told. I don't think the official investigations have told us the complete truth. They haven't even told us half the truth. And so I support, and I hope, you know, if there's a new administration or somebody could open up a new investigation of this before we get too far away from it, to find out the whole truth.
Time now for Pinhead and Patriots. Your humble correspondent, and the Patriot tonight. On the Pinhead front, we are on the road again with Willie Nelson. The 74-year-old singer counts himself among the 9/11 conspiracy nuts.
What's your take on 9/11? Do you question the official story?
I certainly do, and I saw those towers fall, and I've seen an implosion in Las Vegas. There was too much similarities between the two. And then I saw the building fall. It didn't get hit by nothing. So, you know, how naive are we? Or, you know, what do they think we'll go for?
Good grief. Pinhead.
Have you heard that 9/11 was, at the bare minimum, let to happen on purpose?
I've heard rumors from ridiculous conspiracy theory people, yes.
So Morgan Reynolds, former Bush cabinet official, is a conspiracy theorist, and the former German defense minister, Andre von Bülow, is a conspiracy theorist, and the former head of the Star Wars program are all conspiracy theorists?
If you believe that there was advanced knowledge of 9/11 and we didn't get civilians out, and that is their opinion, yes, that is what I believe.
Your reaction to what happened 9/11?
I mean, a plane hit this building and it fell kind of like that. Another plane hit that building and it fell kind of like that. About the same time it fell. This one fell the same way. Looked like an implosion somewhere, you know. And then all of a sudden the third building fell and no plane hit it. So naturally, I've got a question.
You recently wrote a letter to the president of Iran in which you urged him to study the Gulf of Tonkin incident, which we now know was a staged event used to justify war with Vietnam. And you also raised the question, does America provoke provocations? Sir, was this not an outright threat veiled in doublespeak that the United States could stage an event to go to war with Iran? No? Then
well, what I was tongue-in-cheek saying was that we have an administration in Washington that is dying for a reason to bomb Iran. I was trying to communicate to the American people what our own government was trying to plan, and that was to find a reason for bombing Iran. And I was simply saying, in effect, to the American people through this mock letter, be very careful about this administration creating a USS Maine incident or a Gulf of Tonkin incident that would justify bombing Iran. That's all. So the question is,
was this not an outright threat to Iran that the United States
no.
Well, given the fact that you mentioned the Gulf of Tonkin, how can we be sure that other incidents like September 11th weren't also staged as well? And given Operation Northwest...
Oh, please. Our own government did not bomb the Twin Towers, yes.
There is a chance for the President of the United States to use this disaster to carry out what his father, a phrase his father used, I think, only once, and hasn't been used since, and that is a new world order.
Did you know that there's a declassified document in the National Archives where our government put plans to paper to commit terrorism in this country and blame it on another country?
Julie, what's that? I'm sorry, what is your name? Will you pardon my language for just one moment? Who the fuck are you to come up to me on the street and criticize my government? I voted for President Bush. I believe in what we're doing in the Middle East. I don't fucking know you. I don't want to know you. I don't give a fuck about your opinions. We're losing the hearts and minds around the world, and you want to help make us the enemy. Fuck off.
Jesse Ventura says he is skeptical about the official version of events on 9/11 and wishes he would have said so sooner. Ventura spoke yesterday with a radio host who believes the U.S. government was behind the attacks.
Jet fuel is 4/5 kerosene, which is not a hot-burning fuel. And they want us to believe that it melted these steel-structured girders and caused these buildings to pancake collapse to the ground. I was on the site within 2 weeks after it happened, and I saw none of these pancakes. Wouldn't they all be piled up in a huge mass on the ground? And yet everything was blown into dust. My wife's parents are still alive, and they're elderly people. And when I try to bring this up with them, they don't want to believe it. And the reason is so simple. They don't believe anyone can be that evil. And I think a great deal of people in this country are of that same thought.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, I'm Charles Tavia.
Otto, what do you think about the comments Jesse Ventura on 9/11? Coming out saying that the buildings are imploded.
Your stepfather was an SS officer. You said in your book you loved Hitler. You did. It's a comment. Arnold, you still got your Nazi belt on? You got the SS belt on? that you're a Nazi, and it's not going to be hidden. We know that, sir. You will never get a new world order. Arnold, we know that you're a Nazi. Can you please tell the 9/11 victims what happened in the bunker? A lot of 9/11 victims have unanswered questions into what happened in that bunker.
You know, it's really nice to get to talk about something besides politics.
Right.
Could happen to me right now. Okay, thank you very, very much. There is a 911 illness. It's a respiratory illness. It's killed many, many people. There are families without parents, not of whom were taken down by terrorists or the plane, but who were sort of let down by our government. So first responders, this should be an act of Congress immediately, and they should all be getting the best treatment that is available in this nation while we still have the semblance of democracy.
President Bush is a lying criminal, member of Skull and Bones and the Bohemian Grove, where they do mock human sacrifices every year.
He's also the president of the United States of America, you disrespectful little cock.
Danny Bonaducci joins me now. Danny, thanks for coming on, and thanks for telling that little bleep to where he could shove it, bleep.
But I'm not particularly politically inclined. This guy and his nut job followers made me a political person overnight, and I didn't ask for the job. This little tape on YouTube took on a life of its own.
Kids like you will change the world when they believe what they believe, and they're not afraid to say it. And with that little video camera, that's the new way that America is going to be equalized. So keep doing it.
God bless you. When there was a lot of questions about it, my son Charlie introduced me to a lot of information, questions and so forth, and up until then, which was just like last year, I was very dubious. Sure. But I did not want to believe that my government could possibly be involved in such a thing.
Absolutely, I don't think any of us want to.
I couldn't live in a country that I thought could do that. Exactly. That would be the ultimate betrayal. Sure. Then, however, there's been so many revelations that now I have my doubts. And chief among them is the Building 7. How did they rig that building so that it came down on the evening of the day?
Are you afraid of the Larry Silverstein statement to pull it and the way that it all came down? Absolutely.
How convenient.
Yes.
When did they rig that building?
Would you support a new investigation on 9/11?
You know, that's like, you know, that they don't investigate themselves in this country. Those people, there would be a whitewash. It would be like the Kennedy thing. It would be like everything. Okay. The people who are in charge do what they want, and they will always do what they want. The power does what it wants to. And I wouldn't trust an investigation. It's just fun. It's good speculation.
Those who give up liberty for security deserve neither liberty nor security. Your Constitution, America, is being stripped away from you by domestic enemies while they send our troops to third world countries. Our country has been overrun by people that want to destroy America. I got videos. I got websites. I can show you that your government funded Al-Qaeda. And that there were explosives in Building 7, thermite, military-grade explosives. How to get in there?
There's this group, Beit Shalom, who is walking across the country from the West Coast all the way to Washington, D.C. All they're doing is calling an end to this war and calling for 9/11 truth, and they're being harassed everywhere they go.
What can I do for you?
Huh?
What can I do for you?
I just need, have you got an ID or anything? Turn the camera off.
No, sir.
Turn the camera off.
No, sir.
You want to go to jail?
Sir, I've been through this already with
Then I need an ID or something.
You have no reason to ID me. But do you understand why you shouldn't stop and just randomly ask for people's ID? This is America, bro.
Stop walking. Shut that off. I don't want that. Get that away from my face. Ready?
I'm not going to shut it off.
You got your ID on you?
I don't.
Turn the camera away.
No, sir. You're a public officer.
Sorry.
So I have the right to.
videotape you.
Okay. All I'm wanting is an ID.
I can't do that unless you have a lawful reason to ask me.
What's up?
What's up?
You can just turn that off.
Why?
Because I asked you to.
There's no law against it.
Just turn it off.
I'll put it down here.
But turn it off.
Sir,
I asked you to turn it off.
I'm not going to turn it off.
Sir,
You're a public officer.
You're a public officer on the public street.
Okay, let's go on down the road then. What's the deal?
Going down the road where?
I just asked you not to do that. Okay? I don't want a picture taken.
Well, sir, you're a public officer.
That's fine. You bet.
Please don't touch our camera.
Now talk to me.
Please don't touch our camera, sir. Please don't do that.
You guys are going to have to cooperate with me.
And we're cooperating. There's nothing wrong with filming.
Turn that off.
Sir, we're not going to turn it off.
What's your name?
I don't feel I have to give it to you if I haven't done anything wrong.
Well, I'm asking you for your name. I'm not fooling with you. You got anything on you?
No, sir.
I'm going to take you to the next county because I don't want you in this county.
You can't do that. You're breaking.
Because I have a right to protect you.
You're breaking the law.
There's a statute that we're breaking. We'd be happy to turn it off. Is there a specific reason, sir? I don't feel comfortable with that. I haven't broken any laws.
Okay.
I'm not causing a disturbance.
I'm going to ask you guys just to go on down the road, okay?
Are you saying we have no right to be here?
I just telling you to go on down the road.
What do you mean by that?
Okay? You just go on down, get out of city limits. Do
You're
whatever
asking
you want.
us to leave town?
I'm just telling you to go on down the road.
Do you know that we have a constitutional right to do this?
If an officer will ask you for your name, you're supposed to provide that to them. Okay?
Not if I haven't done anything wrong, sir.
Where are you headed?
I'm going to Washington, D.C.
Okay. Carry on.
I'm waiting to leave a message.
Let's get off the phone. It's no big deal. See, you're making a big deal out
I
of it.
want him to know what's going on so he can contact our people. Elliot, it's me. I'm being unlawfully detained by Cumberland County Sheriff's Department. Call the media, call our contacts, get them here immediately. Get to the car. Cumberland County, it's Sheriff Wicke, W-I-C-K-E.
Thank you.
This is not Nazi Germany. This is not Communist Russia. This is United States of America.
Get your stuff and get down the road. If you step on that road, I'll arrest you.
If I give you a documentary about 9/11, will you watch it? Think it was an inside job?
Probably not.
What if it was? Would that concern you as a police officer?
Oh, yeah.
If I give you my card, will you watch a documentary on our website about 9/11 that we made?
Oh, there's a possibility. When's it not going to be on?
Oh, it's on there right now. You can watch it for free. Every day we get stopped. Every day we get ID'd. You can't go anywhere in America anymore without your papers.
Why?
Deputy Reese, Kit Carson County. You guys got ID on you?
What is that? On duty?
Yes, I am.
Okay. We just got stopped by a sheriff.
Oh, yeah? Who?
Not sure. We have him on tape.
Oh, turn that off, me.
Is there a reason why?
No, I'm not. Turn it off.
You're paid with tax money.
I don't care. What did I tell you? Get it off.
Are we breaking the law by having that on you?
Yeah, right now.
What law?
Privacy. Turn it off.
You're a public officer.
I'm telling you.
Asking for our ID.
Yeah, I am.
Breaking our privacy.
Let me see your ID.
I'll give you my name. I don't have an ID.
Are you harassing them for a reason?
No, I'm running. You got a problem with it?
Yeah, it's
Hey,
unconstitutional.
DK. Send me some backup over here. I'm at County Road 36 and 24. No, they're good. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, I imagine. I'll give you a call here shortly. Yeah. Okay, bye. You guys have a good night.
Could you just share what she told you about me?
I can't. I don't do nothing on tape, man.
All right.
Are you one of those that was an inside job, guys? We've heard from you now. Now you hear from me. I'll let you be rude and interrupt me. Scream at the top of your lungs. "9/11 was not an inside job. It was an Osama bin Laden job with 19 people from Saudi Arabia. They murdered 3,000 Americans and other farmers, including over 200 other Muslims. So we heard from you. You go away.
It's an honor to me to be heckled by people who are afraid to hear the truth.
Thank you. Good to see you. Thanks, guys.
Investigation in 9/11.
Oh gosh, you guys are everywhere, aren't you? Hi, how are you?
Do you support the victims' families' call for a new investigation of 9/11?
Get it back there. Hillary, can I get a picture of you?
Mrs. Clinton.
Thank you so much.
Mrs. Clinton, will you support the victims' families' call for a new investigation of 9/11?
Why am I here? Oh my God! I haven't worked.
Will you make it an issue to help the 50,000 sick and dying first responders in 9/11?
So, you'll be fabulous. Good luck, Hillary.
Did you attend the Bilderberg conference in Ottawa?
Thank you for the right side.
Hillary, signed by Bill.
Signed by Bill.
How about David Rockefeller's funding of your campaign and the fact that you vacation with the Bush family? How can we trust a candidate like that? The North American Union, Mrs. Clinton, I know you can hear me. Please, some comment.
Where is Cisco? Where is Cisco?
I know you can hear me, ma'am. Please, any comment.
Look. This is the deal, folks. All these people that are paranoid about the world come and scream at me everywhere. You said you would go if I answered the question. All right, here's the answer. I happened to be in Europe then on my way to Russia. I was invited to go to Bilderberg by Vernon Jordan.
Senator Clinton, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Can I ask you a quick question while you sign that? It was reported in June of 2006 you attended a meeting in Ottawa, Canada, the Bilderberg Group. Can you comment on that? What's going on at the Bilderberg meeting, and what do you guys talk about up there?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. I was reported you were up there, and people saw you up there. I just want to know what you guys talk about and meet about up there.
Sir, I don't know.
Why are they such top secret meetings?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Your husband went to a Bilderberg meeting too. I'm just wondering. I'm not being rude or anything.
No,
I just want to know what happens at these meetings.
Well, since I wasn't there, I have no idea.
Okay, thank you, Senator.
There's something about people who emerge as leaders. They're not always nice people. In fact, we've got perhaps a majority of them are not.
One for this gentleman in a black shirt.
Chairman Allen Greenspan. Thank you for destroying our country with the private banks. The federal private banks. Why are you destroying our country with the federal private banks, sir? Why are you destroying our bank? Why are you destroying our country? We know what you're doing to our country. We know what you're doing to our country, sir. Why are you making a private bank? Let's go. Why is the Federal Reserve a private bank, sir? Let's move it. Why is it a private bank? This guy's a criminal. He's responsible for genocide. He is killing our country.
Talking the way down. You guys need to know this guy is not American. He's destroying our country. He's not a true American. He's a private bank. I don't mean to speak.
You know, just a message to everybody out there, any politicians watching, yeah, you know, you do something wrong, you better be out watching out for change, because we're out there.
I was wondering how you can attempt to justify the attacks on the Fallen Towers and the Fallen Building 7 as two separate terrorist incidents as opposed to just one.
Easy to justify when you have two planes coming to two separate towers at two distinct time frames, bringing the two towers down independently. You call that anything but two events. And so I will simply tell you, but the case got resolved based upon the forms, the specific forms, and what those specific policies held in their language as being controlling one event or two events. And those companies that have been declared to have signed up to one form, to one event policy, were paid one event, and those who signed up to two, paid two. That was it. I can tell you is I'm really thrilled that we're able to host.
Why don't you tell them how you pulled the building?
And all I can
tell them how you pulled the building.
Enjoy.
Tell the truth, Larry. Tell the truth, Larry.
Do you support the family members' demand for a new investigation into 9/11?
Bilderberg. You're Bilderberg scum, man. We know that. Work for the CFR. Bilderberg, New World Order. You're not getting one, sir.
Do you support the family members' demand for a new investigation into 9/11?
Go meet David Rockefeller.
Over to the nation, all over the world, and it's only building. And wherever you walk, wherever you go, be ready to be confronted on your crimes and your lies.
Do you like being a puppet, sir? Do you like being a puppet for the New World Order?
Oh, stop. Get a life.
Huh?
He's going to eat.
He just enjoys life. Hey, you going to talk about the 60,000 people? You going to talk about the 60,000 people?
Yes, we don't want to hear this nonsense.
You're going to talk about the 60,000 people that you allowed to die. You allowed them to die. You told them 3 days later they can go out there when the air was polluted, huh?
Shush.
All right, Paul, we gotta get back. Mr. Giuliani, regarding the World Trade Center collapse, sir. Hey, sir, regarding the World Trade Center collapse, we caught you on camera the other day where you made a mistake and you lied to the American people, sir. Would you like to clear that up and get back with us today?
Private. Many people think Giuliani is a hero of 9/11, when in reality, he's one of the criminals of 9/11. During the recovery effort, when the first responders were dying on that pit, he took everybody off on Saints' Day because the gold of Nova Scotia was discovered. Then he implemented a scoop and dump policy where he took family members' remains and threw them into garbage fields in Staten Island. People don't notice, but 45% of the victims' family members are still missing today.
The fact that any government official can play God with human life, they should be in jail. They should go to jail.
We were all here 7 years ago, and the government turned their back on us. Please help us now. The federal government has still not assisted me and the thousands of other rescue workers. The federal government 2 weeks ago cut $100 million from the budgets for health care. And that is a disgrace. It's despicable that they would do that to us.
I have a much more limited lifespan because of this, and so do somewhere around 40,000 other rescue workers. But how many New Yorkers were also exposed? Where'd all that dust from the roofs go? This could be one of the greatest public health disasters in history. And with AIDS and hepatitis C and cancer and heart disease, we don't need that.
Christy Todd Whitman testified in front of Congress that the air was safe. Is that why, when I had a lung test 2 weeks ago, they found black fluid in my left lung? Is that why my right lung is full of blood right now? Is that why I take 18 medications, because the air was safe?
The Mount Sinai study proves into every clinician in the country and to every governing medical body in the United States, the Public Health Service, the EPA, everybody, that we were exposed to severe levels of toxicity.
The fact that no one's ever really been investigated for 9/11 or put in jail is still it's mind-boggling. Someday that will happen, though. I'm convinced. The truth will come out.
Christy Todd Whitman lied, and it's been proven over and over again she lied, and her lying helped kill us. And she's going to be held accountable for that.
Really, we have to grasp our understanding. It could happen to anybody. It could happen to any one of us. And we have to take the responsibility on ourselves to fix those wrongs that happened. The only way I could see us getting New York City back and us fulfilling the void that we have here is when the family members have all their questions answered, and when all the 50,000 first responders have the proper medical care and proper unemployment benefits that they deserve. That's the only way we can take the city back and get rid of that void that's in there. Because every time I pass by on a highway, every time I see the skyline without the towers there, it's a void and it pisses me off. And every time I get angry.
We are here in Times Square. Many people from other countries are here with us, know a lot about what's happening. The American public is still learning about the atrocity of that day. The American public is still learning that what we've been told by our government is not true. We are informing people about the truth. The laws of physics do not lie.
They're doing street actions. Never gonna stop. See you, not 1107. We're gonna make history. Not 11-2 now.
FBA 9/11.
John Schroeder spoke of explosives going off throughout the building. He was one of the first firefighters in there. Ask yourself why none of us have heard that testimony. Everyone on that train now has a different perception. And you know what? One by one, we will affect change in this country.
It's July 2nd. We're in Effingham. So we've been here about an hour. There's been no police contacts yet, so Effingham, Illinois obeys the Constitution.
City come out and talk to you?
No, what can we do for you?
City didn't come out and talk to you guys?
Uh-uh.
Alright, just seeing what's going on. Real Christians don't choose war. Very good. Protesting the war?
Well,
not really. We're protesting Christian support of the war.
You got the bad job here. You have to sit on the grass. You guys take turns?
Well, he forgot his sign, so he's...
That's part of the punishment?
I got the best job. I just pray.
Nothing
Pray
wrong
for
with
the
that. Spirit to convict people. Nothing wrong with that.
We're just getting ready to take off.
All right. Where are you guys from? They're around Effingham or?
Denver.
Denver?
Yeah, we're walking across the country.
So you guys going across country, heading to East Coast now, or?
Washington, D.C.
And then you're gonna, very good. Good luck to you guys. I just heard on the radio something about somebody in an orange jumpsuit. We didn't know we had someone escaped from the,
Sure.
the sheriff's department. All right, guys, good luck.
Lord bless you, sir.
You too.
Comment on that.
That's how a police contact should be. Constitutional. Didn't ask for our ID. Just got a call. Want to make sure we were all right. Police are here to serve us.
Just flown into New York and we're trying to get down to meet up with our people. We just heard on the cell phone they're being harassed by the police right now. It may already be too late. We'll see what happens when we get there. Alex, hey, everybody, good to see you. Hey, man. Hey, Luke, good to see you, man. We heard from you about an hour ago. Up here. We heard they were threatening to shut you down. What happened?
Yes. They denied the stop permit. They don't want to let us allow a stop permit here. We're going to keep doing it no matter what. And we're going to use our voice no matter what. They can't stop us.
We don't have to thank them for our right to be here and demonstrate. We're
It's live! Geraldo Rivera is live over here! Somebody go get him!
40 minutes.
Inside job! 9/11 was an inside job! 9/11 was an inside job! 9/11 was an inside job!
Take a look at this fucking shield, my friend, all right? Yeah, fucking take a look at it. Asshole.
9/11 was an inside job! You're fooling me!
How you doing tonight?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they tried to overwhelm us and everything. What that was? That was a cop. Got my panel. That was at a hot party.
Yeah, it was an inside job.
Geraldo Rivera is about to go live. We want to jump in basically behind his production.
Send everybody back here when they're going live, we'll go.
Basically, guerrilla information warfare.
Anybody want this?
Target of opportunity.
When they go back to the
What are you going to say? We're just going to chant that 9/11 is an inside job. Mainly, it's a message to them that we know.
We all decided to be quiet right before we got on that one block that Geraldo was going live.
Radio City Music Hall, just a couple of blocks uptown from Fox World headquarters. Went into her job as an assistant principal in an Ohio medical school. 9/11 was inside. We're in prayer.
9/11 was an inside job. 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 9/11 was an inside job.
Quiet until they come back to him. Say 9/11's an inside job slowly. 9/11 is an inside job. 9/11 is an inside job.
And if you hear the shouting, it's a group of demonstrators who've come. 9/11 was an inside job. Oh, get a life. Get a life. 9/11 was an inside job.
Inside job. 9/11 was an inside job. 9/11 was an inside job. 9/11 was an inside job.
And when we come back, we'll take you into the secret world of restroom gay sex. I think these demonstrators are all into restroom gay sex. Welcome back, everybody. We've been surrounded by an activist, radical, I don't know, communist group. I don't know who the hell they are.
9/11 was an inside job. 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 9/11 was an inside job.
Breaking loose on 6th Avenue. You know, you need a permit to protest or demonstrate here in New York, but this anarchist group came forward. They really are one of the least attractive groups of demonstrators I've ever seen. One of the leaders, I guess, if violence breaks out, don't worry, we can handle it. Our Fox News team can take this bunch of I don't want to use any foul language, but...
Traitors!
Everybody listen! This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna be peaceful, we're not gonna block pedestrian traffic, and we're going to the police precinct where they have Alex at.
Let him go! 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 Let him go!
sound device without a permit. There it is right there. They murdered those firemen and police on 9/11, and now the majority of Americans know the truth in polls, and we're never going to stop. And all those media whores that think they can keep selling the fraud and the lie, they're going to be exposed as traitors who are guilty after the fact for aiding and abetting the terrorists. Yes,
We had 5 days of events here in New York City. We went all throughout the city, giving out literature. We gave out about 100,000 flyers to the people of New York City. We gave out about 10,000 free DVDs to the people. And this was a huge event that brought thousands of people together. We took all the profits from that event and we donated to the Feel Good Foundation. All the people who worked volunteered. We had the pleasure to give the money to the people who needed it most, and that's the heroes of 9/11.
This is it, 9/11. Right now we're at Ground Zero in front of the PATH train station, and we're here with everybody from all over the country taking part in a historical event.
And to my cousin, Terrence D. Gazzani. Terrence, not a day goes by that we don't think about you. We love you and we miss you very dearly. And to the 23 New York City police officers that gave their lives 6 years ago on this day, we'll never forget you.
Giuliani, why did you throw away 40% of the bodies? Why did you throw away 40% of the bodies away? You're not our mayor, you scum! Walk away! Leave New York! You're not a true New Yorker!
You can't even look me in the eye.
Nope.
Truth is authority. Authority is not truth. And we can look to the universe and to the laws of the universe to find truth. The laws of mathematics, the laws of physics, the laws of logic, the laws of chemistry, the laws of engineering. These are laws that God created that are supported by the universe. And we look to that truth to find the answers about what
September 11th, 2007, 6th anniversary of 9/11. We're at Baltimore Avenue in Regents. We have 9 more miles to go until we reach DC for the rally.
It's very interesting how we have an administration that does not hesitate to use 9/11, spend even trillions of dollars on war in the name of 9/11, and then when it comes to spending millions to protect the health of those who served at 9/11, we have yet to hear a positive response from them. But your presence on the Hill today can change that, and I welcome you to Washington.
I'm Deputy Chief Jim Richards, New York City Fire Department. I lost my son on 9/11. I was down there from September 11th, that day, to the very end. I carried my son's body out of there in March 2002 with my 3 other sons. And I got sick. In 2005, my lungs shut down. I went into a coma. I was 16 days in a coma. They told my family I had 5 hours to live. Get your family together, he's going to die.
Everyone that was down there did breathe that stuff in, and we're all getting sick. I'm sick already. Everybody here is sick, and to me, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds more people. It's sad. Thousands of people.
Last year in September, I was diagnosed with aerodigestive cancer.
How you doing? My name is Tommy McGee. I'm a first responder, and it's hard to hear me. I had two masses removed from my voice box recently. I was down there from September 11th. For 10 months straight. And the only reason I left there is they had to carry me out of there. I fell through an elevator shaft and I broke my back.
In late 2002, I was hospitalized for severe chest pains and shortness of breath. Thus began a medical odyssey, which has followed me to this day. A recent bronchoscopy resulted in a partially collapsed lung.
You know, they question you. What were you exposed to? Did you get stabbed? Did you get cut? Did you do this? No. Well, Teresa said, well, you were 9/11. They said, you were ground zero? I said, yeah, I was there for a couple of months. I did like 3 hours there. That's where it came from.
They were told by the EPA that it was safe to work. They were told that despite the immediate symptoms of respiratory distress that were beginning to appear everywhere, they had nothing to worry about. As chairman of the Domestic Policy Subcommittee, which has a very broad jurisdiction, covers every area except Homeland Security and Department of Defense, we're going to start asking questions of the New York City Health Department about their evaluations, how they came to the conclusions. We're going to start getting documents. I want you to know this. We're going to start asking questions and getting documents because we cannot let the city of New York escape its responsibility for these emergency workers. They're not going to do it.
We're going to change the landscape of the way they think in Washington. We have 35 meetings. But before we do that, let's remember the 205 that have died since 9/11.
I'm going to ask the New York City Health Department for their records as to how they could come to a conclusion that the illnesses that so many of these 9/11 workers have suffered were not, in fact, due to 9/11.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
You got to understand something. When they go down, these buildings, I said, where the hell did these buildings go?
Yes.
You're talking about 110-story buildings that fucking evaporate. Where are the people?
If you're going to continue to be rude, you continue to be rude. Shut your camera down.
Oh, but now you just assaulted my camera.
Will there be a North American Union? Do you believe there will be a North American
Union? I would hope so. I think it will be very convenient for both of us.
Well, I don't think there's a new investigation to 9/11.
Can I ask you what you think about World Trade Center 7 being left out of the commission report?
I think that's black helicopter stuff. I really do.
I said, no way. There had to be bombs in the building.
Did you ever watch those films I gave you?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you think of them?
Very interesting. And if you want to talk 9/11, I'll be happy to now. At the time, I know I didn't want to because I hadn't studied it much.
Oh, Jesus.
But now down in Mexico, last year I read 16 books, and so I have my doubts now about 9/11. So if you'd like to get into 9/11, that's fine.